Alright, so what we want to do with this setup is model the lac operon and the external components that interact with it in order to regulate its operation. So we start with glucose, then we have RNA polymerase, and then we have our repressor protein. So starting with glucose, if glucose is present, then we don't have an activator. We're not activated. But if glucose is absent, then we do have an activator. So if we look at my rail, my powered rail here is activated. And that's because my chest is empty. I don't have glucose. And to set this up, I have a comparator on the back of the chest that feeds into a repeater, and that repeater feeds into a block. It can be any block, and it has a redstone torch on the other side of it. And what that means is when I put these amethyst blocks into my chest, that means I have glucose and my signal turns off. Right, I've lost my activator. But if I take those amethyst blocks out, my signal comes back on. In terms of my RNA polymerase, if I have RNA polymerase, then my signal should be on. But if I don't, my signal should be off. So my signal is off right now because that chest is empty. So this setup is a comparator feeding into a repeater, which feeds into a redstone, a powered rail. And so if I put these blocks into this chest, that turns on the signal and turns on the powered rail. But if I take them out, then my signal turns off. And then my last setup and my last checkpoint is lactose. So lactose controls my repressor protein. And if I have lactose, lactose comes in and interacts with that repressor and pulls it off. But if I don't have it, then my repressor protein sits on. So right now, my powered rail is inactive, and that's because I don't have any lactose in my chest. But if I add lactose to my chest, then my rail gets powered, right? My repressor protein has been removed. So in terms of the setup, that's just like the setup we just did. I've got a comparator feeding into a repeater, which feeds into that powered rail. All right, so I want to start off with everything empty, and I'm going to put a cart on my track, and we'll see what happens. So my cart represents the process of making RNA transcripts, and if I put my cart on the track, the first thing that it hits is that repressor protein. So I'm going to add some lactose and make it move through that operator. All right, my signal's on, but it doesn't want to move, so I'm just going to give it a little push. And if we follow it around the track, it's going to come back the other side. And it was activated because we don't have any glucose. So I'm going to add some glucose for the next time around. But it came to RNA polymerase, and it doesn't have any RNA polymerase because that chest is empty. So we'll add some RNA polymerase. Now it's active. We're not repressed. It's going to come back around. And it stops at my activator because I have glucose. So I take that glucose away, and now it'll go. And now I'm going to have high levels of transcription because I'm activated and I'm not repressed.